Going live, going live, going live. What's up, guys, gals, Grieverlings, Grieverettes, Griever something in between, whatever you want to call yourselves. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Griever live reaction stream for One Punch Man chapter 135, which just dropped out of the blue. No notification, no nothing. Just I was like getting a couple of weird, well, I shouldn't say no notification. I was getting a couple of weird quick notifications, and it was like, but it wasn't on my Discord. It was, it was on Grimm's and stuff. It's like, oh, the chapter's cooked. Oh, all right, cool, Like, it was like, is this an important chapter? Is this one of those 0.5 craps that Murata comes out with? I have no idea. So that's why I was like a little skeptical at first. But here we are. Here we are to sit back and know. And we know that we have a full chapter. Apparently a full chapter. So I'm pretty excited about that. We are going to do our obligatory wait, as we always do at the beginning of a stream, 5 minutes or so, and then we'll jump right into the heart of One Punch Man, chapter 135. For some reason, this is on a different link this time. That's why I was dubious, right? I went to Grim Reaper's Discord. Go check him out. Great YouTuber, good guy, all that fun jazz. And all of a sudden, there was something under his cooked hashtag channel from some weird site I have never heard of, and it had the chapter. So it's not on the regular sites or anything like that from what I can tell. I didn't really look, but either way, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, this one, unlike this site, unlike MangaDex and the other ones that I usually use, doesn't give me a page number amount. Though I was told in my Discord, and I don't see page amount as much of a spoiler because I don't really keep track. I don't count each page, as I'm reading. But apparently this is a shorter chapter. Now, does that mean it's short for a monthly series or a bi-weekly series? Does that mean it's only going to be like the standard 18 pages? Is it shorter than that? Is it longer than that? I have no idea. So that's as much spoiler as I got about this chapter. So I'm pretty excited. I'm actually really excited to see if this chapter is so short, and it's apparently, like, I'm looking at it right now. I got the link open. It's called chapter 135. We have a cover page here of Tatsumaki still going. I can keep this up forever. Her, clothes are torn, all that stuff. She's in the midst of battle. I'm assuming there must be something significant going on in this chapter. I was told it's got nothing to do with, I did lie. I did get another spoiler, sort of. It's not really a Tatsumaki or Psychorochi focused chapter. I was told that by Vib. So I mean, she's on the cover page here, but we must jump over to, I'm curious, if that's the case, what do we jump over to right now? Unless Garo. I could see a short chapter being amazing if we get the reveal of Garo at the end of the chapter. Like Garo coming up through the rubble, Super Saiyan hair sort of idea, just flowing aura around him. Eyes whited out like he's going Broly level shit. I can see that. I'd be good with that, Yeah, so maybe that's what's going on. I have no idea. And that's the beauty. It's the beauty of this. So anyways, yeah, let's check the chat. Let's see what the chat's saying. We got Dragon's Rage in here saying, yo, what's up? Miss content. Go check out his channel, ladies and gentlemen. He does Shimatsu no Valkyrie content. Saying, hey, yo. And Tenryo is in here. He says, can I get an invite to your Discord server? I can't enter through the link in your description. I have no idea why. But yeah, somebody, Dragon's Rage, could you give him a link? I don't really know how to invite people to my Discord, to be honest. I have what they call an internal link, so it should be totally fine. I'll update that for the next video. Make sure that the link is working. But yeah, could somebody post it or send it to them or whatever. That'd be great. So yeah. Anyways, wait another minute here or so. How's everybody doing? How you been? You know, this is a great time. Like, 2020 sucks. Let's just all get it out of the way. 2020 sucks. I watched that presidential debate. I'm Canadian, so like it affects me but doesn't affect me sort of deal. I watched that. Yeah. I really wish there was something else on at the time, but yeah. Yeah, like, you know, 2020 kind of sucks, but you know what I realized? 2021, going to be amazing. You know why? Inuyasha's back. You know why else? Bleach is back. You know why else? Shaman King is back. All they got to do is announce that Oda lied because it was 2020 and that One Piece is going another 15 years solid. And you basically have the, like we already have the triple crown of anime right there. Inuyasha, Bleach, Shaman King. Like, what else do we really need? What are they going to do? Like, what are they honestly going to do next? What are they going to tell us is coming back? Are they going to redo the Toriko anime? Are they going to actually do, you know what, we're going to continue, like, a sequel to Toriko. Or we're going to reanimate the entire Toriko manga or something like that. Like, apparently, like, the Shaman King one is going to do all that. So, I'm holding out hope for Toriko here because that thing got shafted. And that was an amazing manga. Top 10. So just hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. 2020 might have been crap. But 2021, to be an anime fan, will be, if we can survive to December 31st, 2020, and we can ring in my birthday of being officially old at 30, at 30 years old, on January 1st, to end out 2020 and bring in my 30s and know that 2021 is here for the manga anime fans, I think we'll be good to go. I think we'll be all right. We got Miss Content in here, says, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, real fun time to live in America, I imagine. Tenryo says, what are some fights that Oda should not skip in the manga at all costs? We need a good Zoro fight again. We haven't had a really good, like, Zoro going all out post-time skip. We need to not skip any major Zoro fights, like him versus, whether he fights a Calamity, no matter what he does here at the end of Wano, we need to see him do a super fight. We need to see, of course, well, they won't skip Kaido's defeat or Big Mom's, I wouldn't think. I would, other than that, no. Like, literally, we just don't need to skip the Zoro and Luffy fights. I think we're okay with that. This is a haphazard, crazy war, everybody's fighting everybody sort of time. So I could see why you would skip out on some fights. We might get focused on a Brook fight and miss out on a Sanji one. I'm sorry if that happens, right? But there's so many characters, so many fan favorites all in the mix right now. It'd be hard to pick a few. I mean, we know they won't skip the main character fight. We know they won't skip the Yonko fight. So all I can ask is to see a little more Zoro, because Zoro hasn't been pushed post-time skip. We haven't seen him in a Zoro form. Haven't seen any of that. So that's the main thing to see. Purple Tape says, Toriko top 10? Nah. Okay, Purple Tape, then list your top 10, and I will literally debunk probably half of them as Toriko is better. Dragon's Rage says, maybe Hunter x Hunter will come back from hiatus. That's possible. So far, once again, I haven't continued to read Hunter x Hunter. Honestly, I mean, I can see it, but like Rave Master is just as good. Like, I can see that style and that way of shonen, you know, the 90s sort of, early 2000s sort of manga style. I can see it, and I'm trying to appreciate it for what it is, as not being a hardcore fan growing up on any of that stuff. But so far, it hasn't. Some characters have grabbed me. Arcs aren't too bad, but honestly speaking, it's not top 10 material for me right yet. But remember, I'm only about 100 plus chapters in. So I just got to that Greed Island thing or whatever it is. They went into the video game and they just started. So that's as far as I am. So we'll see. Let's see. Tenryo says, never mind the invite thing. I managed to join. All right. Thank you to, well, whoever, but 10-year-old joined. Fantastic. MC Dude in here says, hello. Purple Tate says, speaking of Hunter x Hunter, what chapter are you on? I just explained that. So I think we're all good. Anyways, guys, we've been in here about 10 minutes. So I think it's time we start this chapter. Feel free to keep asking questions and stuff. Remember that I always go over everything halfway through the stream and stuff like that periodically. So none of your questions or comments or anything will be missed. So continue to ask questions, blah, 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 as I read the chapter, if you want to. Anyways, all right, so let's start here. So, as I already talked about the cover page, disgrace and fundamentals. All right, so let's see. It's not really doing anything. Okay, apparently I can't click it. All right, so translators, cleaning, blah, 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 Vib, Lucci. All right, so, okay, 5 minutes ago we have Drive Night. Right off the bat here, we get Drive Night. Looking a little ragged. Standing on top of some tower, still holding Nian's body, saying, since a tower emerged from the ground after it broke, does that maybe mean that Tornado is fighting the boss of the Monster Association? Good analysis there. I don't really know where he got all that from, but okay. I'd love to get even just a chunk of that flesh as a sample, but I don't have much energy left. He's seeing all the... What? Oh, and then there's a break. What a godsend. I'll borrow just a little bit of energy. There's a big power line going through. Just, I'm assuming that's meant to be a power line. Just so you guys are aware, that is an unrealistic sized power line. Just pointing that out there. As an electrician, I could say there are cables that are about, in case, like you can see the multiple cables. There are cables that size, but you would never run them like that. That's, that's just a nitpick of me being an electrician. But, no, you would never run cables in that fashion, I wouldn't think. Maybe there's a special reason for that. Was that channel underwater? Because then I could maybe see it. But even then, you'd still run multiple smaller versions of that. And you'd run them parallel to each other. So anyway, just a small... If that's what that is. If that's an electrical line running under the city to feed the city. That's not exactly how it works. But that's okay. Whatever. He seems to be charging from that. He's borrowing a little bit of energy. And we see a surge. All right. So next page... Yeah, he takes out like a whole city block and stuff from it. Okay, so he takes a little bit of energy. Yeah, an entire half a city. All right, Drive Night. Yeah, a little bit. So he seems to then, now he's above the tower. Like, did he jump? Is he flying? Is that him going, boom? Like he went into Transformer fly mode? I guess. I think that's what the speed lines are supposed to represent here in the bottom panel. He's supposed to have like zoom, and he's in like the bat plane or the bat wing or whatever. All right, cool. Well, there seems to be two of them now. Is that an after? Anyways. Whatever. We got a My Mask on the ground there. Sweet Mask being like just traumatized to hell. And saying, in the end, I couldn't do anything but close my eyes and curl up like a baby. I still can't defeat ugliness after all, can I? So now he's tormented by fear ugly. I am so ugly, but I am also the fear. So, I mean, a little bit of posh, a little bit of grotesqueness. Sort of like if Jason Voorhees started talking in a posh accent, right? That's what we're dealing with here. So, So My Mask, so it is the classic thing on My Mask. See, I shouldn't complain as much as I do. I shouldn't complain this much about the tropes in One Punch Man. That's the point. It is, unlike what a lot of people seem to think, it is still a parody of a standard shonen. It is a parody manga, though it is evolved. I will say that. It started as a parody and it has evolved. But the webcomic, up to this point, which I assume is still past this point, never pretended not to be. So they still need to add almost these moments where you still have the classic tropes being parodied and stuff like that. So I shouldn't complain as much, recognizing that, right? And here we still have a My Mask doing the stuff. I think the problem I have with it is that this character is very standard, very classic in a lot of older mangas. And the thing is that they always overcame it. And here, he seems to have just failed. Now he's down on his knees. And I guess it's just a little like, well, if you were going to do it, could he not have beaten Fear Ugly? Like, at this point, what was the whole point, I guess? I mean, maybe it's good development for his character. Maybe they're putting a spin on it. We won't know yet. I mean, we got to keep reading the manga, right? So, but right now, I'm not really getting the point of showing us this. We already, like, I assumed it the moment he went up against Fear Ugly. I assumed it. I knew it. I called it. Now, months later, still here, and it's like, okay, so you didn't really do anything new, so what was the big build-up for, right? I guess not a big build-up, but anyways. So in the last panel of this page, he says, I thought that taking part in the assault would have shined a spotlight on me, and look at me now. Well, he's very vain and narcissistic like that. We already knew that. And then looks over, he sees there's Pig God being, well, Pig God. There's Atomic being Atomic. There's Puri Puri being Puri Puri. And Zombie Man and Child Emperor are sort of in the corner. Zombie's back to normal. Okay, so Zombie regrew himself. We figured that. He's unkillable, just sort of like the whole Kaido thing. Can't kill him, but you can certainly kick the shit out of him, right? So Zombie Man's back. So, and in My Mask, they're all just looking at him like, oh, you're here. And he seems to be growing like neck veins and face veins and every other type of vein going, what's with those eyes? Huh? Did they hear my request to tornado through the transmitter? Ugh, you know, he's so self-conscious and so embarrassed. Ugh, right? So, this bunch of losers. I mean, who has face veins like that? Like, the face veins everywhere. Like, I got rosacea, eczema, acne, and I'm almost 30. But even I can't do those type of things going on with this face. Like, I'm not saying I'm a pretty boy like him either, but I'm just saying, like, I got some skin conditions going on my face, and I can't pull that shit off. I'm just saying, you know? So he says, this bunch of losers, I can't allow them to look down on me. A true hero. The only look they can give me should be one of envy. He's so narcissistic. See, he's one of those characters, like, but I shouldn't criticize because we're supposed to hate him, right? He's not meant to be an Escanor level of narcissism where it's just like, that is so badass. Nux Taku's going to make a video about this. Bill Burr will talk about it on his podcast. The nation will grind to a halt. Donald Trump will blame Japan for losing all the mail-in ballots because of this character. Like, that's, you know, the whole thing, right? But, yeah, I mean, I know it's intentional, but, like, laying it on thick here, like, he's just such a one-dimensional dick. But yeah, so I've never been a huge fan of Sweet Mask or My Mask, whatever. Not a huge fan. Anyways, let's check the chat, see what's going on. Make sure I stay caught up. One time I let it go too long, and then like I had to play catch up for like 35 minutes. So let's see. Where were we? Dragon's Rage says, JoJo Part 3 is in my top 10 shonen. Fair enough. Not the hugest stan of JoJo, but I haven't watched all the parts yet. So, I'm planning on it. I'm going to. I think it's definitely super interesting, and I've had fun with it so far. So, definitely not caught up, but whatever. Tenryo says, what are some manga that you think deserve reboots? Dragon's Rage says Berserk. Tenryo, as I said, reboots. Well, Shaman King, it got one. Toriko, which I already said. I'd like a continuation of the manga for Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin or Samurai X, whatever you want to call it. Metal Alchemist Brotherhood already happened. A reboot. That's a good question. I'm not sure, because we're not talking about things that were never turned into, like mangas that were never turned into anime. We're talking about animes that need a second chance to be better. Because I've got mangas that I think should be animes, for sure. But other than Toriko, I guess Berserk, I still haven't read Berserk. Can't really think of any off the top of my head. Maybe Rave Master, but I never watched the Rave Master anime, or Rave. Because it was the better version of Fairy Tail. And Hiro Mashima can draw, he can write, it is very good. I really can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I'd have to look through a list and be like, oh yeah, totally that one, right? So, let's see. So Miss Content says, if you have any free time, you should go check out the first episode of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime tomorrow. Somebody else, was it you, Miss, that already told me to check out that manga? Because somebody else mentioned that like last stream, like 2 weeks ago or something like that, or the stream before. Somebody mentioned, like, check that out, read that manga. It's supposed to be really good. You'd like it. It is on my list. Don't worry. It is on my list. It's got a Bleach-esque premise with some choreography more like Naruto. Fair enough. All right. I'll definitely, as I said, it's already on the list. But when I get free time, for sure. MC Dude says, aren't there super thick shielded cables underwater? Yeah, they are, but just not like the size of them. Maybe it's a protective measure for this monster-ridden society they live. MC Dude brings up an excellent point. That is probably the reason I would buy that, because these things, they're all multiple cables, and this is in the electrical field. You have multiple cables. It's called running in parallel underground. And you have certain, but the thing is, when you run cables underground, you have a certain distance you need to keep. So you don't box them all in like that. You don't make a big one, like big like saran wrap around them and run it through. Like you don't glad wrap and, you know, do that, or make one big thing of rubber. You make a cement box or a steel box or a tunnel, and you separate them because there's something called, it's called, like, you have induction, you have magnetic lines of flux, and with super high voltages that would fuel a whole city like we just saw, what happens is the frequencies will catch, and then they'll start to catch, they can create a spark, and kaboom, right? They can cause frequency interruptions, they can blow up, there's a lot of problems with that, so they would have to be separated. So it's very unlikely, actually, electrically speaking, that's not possible for all those cables to be warped in that one thing, unless there's no real reason. Sorry, like if it was one thick cable, it's unbelievable, but I would buy it if it was one big cable. But they don't make cables that size, so but they do make super thick shielded cables underwater, absolutely. But as we just saw, it was multiple cables done properly, because they just don't make cables that size. Oleg Simarov, Oleg says, this cables were underground, but after Tatsumaki's twist, this is at the surface. Okay. But yeah, but it still was in one compacted thing. Like, I don't know, still doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna go with it. It's just, electrically speaking, you know. Oleg says, wait, have you read 134 parts 2 and 3? It looks like you haven't. My Mask has by the way, a very good reason for his behaviors, but I can't behavior. First of all, okay, not to go on a rant here, but let's all share a drink. If there is a chapter 134, part 3.3, and a 134.66, then no, I did not read them. Because there should be no such thing as a third of a chapter after the chapter's released. There shouldn't be a 2/3 of a chapter after a chapter release. There shouldn't be a 0.5. There shouldn't be in the middle. This stuff should not happen. Not regulated to the story. If you had a Bleach, One Piece, or Naruto chapter, and it had a 0.5 of the chapter, it would be a fun little side story that had nothing to do with the ongoing plot. And it would not be relevant. It'd be them all trapped in an alternate dimension going to high school. It would be the standard beach episode in every anime. That is how you do the 0.5, the in-betweens, the fillers. You can't split up a chapter into 3 times, call a chapter 134, and then go 134.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.56. I don't know about it. How would I know about it? I'm just reading. Last time when I went to 3rd grade math, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, numerical order. I have never read a book in my life that had chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 4.67, and 5. I've never read a book that way. So, to answer your question, no. If there are more parts, I did not read them. Yeah, and that's my little rant about that bullshit. All right. So if there is a reason, great. No, I haven't read those parts. I'm sure it's absolutely fantastic reasoning, but yeah. Purple Tate says, is One Punch Man in your top 10? Pfft. Okay, that was unfair. No. It's not in my top 20 either. MC Dude said, diluted, am I in one word? Yeah, a little bit. Purple Tate says, Trigun, maximum. Trigun! But see, I love the Trigun manga, and I love the Trigun anime, so I don't really think it needs a reboot because I love that anime. But would I love to see it reanimated, like with more money and more quality? As long as I could get those original voice back. That's the same thing. I would love to see Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Redone, right? Like with more animation, but I want the original voice, right? Because that's my childhood, and the nostalgia would come into the mix, and it'd be a bit of a problem. But absolutely, yeah, like Trigun, 100%. But I already think the Trigun anime is fine, so I don't think it needs a reboot. Not like something that was shafted, like Toriko. Toriko anime is awful. Let's see. Dragon says, has your feelings on any of the S-Class heroes changed since the arc started besides Tats? Excellent question. I like Child Emperor more than I did. I hate Pig God more because of the community. Atomic's fine. I actually like Flashy Flash more than I used to since the arc started because I love his adventures with Saitama. I find them hilarious. I find them fun. And I think that's it if I'm recalling everybody. Oh, and I really lost a lot of respect for Darkshine after the Garo fight. You know, that was a whole thing. Like, that was weird. Like, I'm a white dude, and I don't want to get into this exactly, but as a white dude, even I was a little like, wait, what? Darkshine's not black? That was weird, okay? That was really freaking weird. That was like some reverse Michael Jackson shit. And I was just like... And Michael Jackson did suffer from some type of skin disease and stuff. So I'm not trashing on Michael Jackson. It was little known at the time. But I just mean that like it was some reverse, like it was just weird. Why did they have to put that in there? That was not necessary because all that did was stir up a bunch of controversy for no goddamn reason. It was weird. And plus then he became like a simp. You know, like it was just weird. So yeah, those just off the top of my head, those are the ones, yeah. But yeah, Flashy Flash went up. Child Emperor went up. Yeah. Missed Content says, I didn't mention it in a stream, but I think I told you about it in the server a while ago. Oh, okay, fair enough. Dragon Church says, Cowboy Bebop reboot. I would love to see that animated with today's animation. As long as they didn't add any useless CGI in it, I agree. Purple Dave said, the Griever Bio Boosted Armor reboot would be sexy. Don't even know what that is. Gon said, hot One Punch Man released chapter in parts for years. Okay, Gon, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. Just saying. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good system. Because how do I know? Okay, so I just read chapter 135 because I read chapter 134. How was I, as a reader, supposed to know there was 134.2 and .3? How do we all know? How do you guys know there's not a chapter 134.4? Just curious. I'm not trying to be belligerent here. I'm asking a legitimate question. How do you guys know? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a One Punch Man stan. I don't follow Murata and One and all those on Twitter, and I don't sit on Twitter for 6 hours a day waiting for the One Punch Man raws to drop. I'm not like that. So I just assume that numerical order and math will tell me when the next chapter is out by numerical number. If it doesn't, just no other manga does this, man. That's all I'm saying. If you guys like it, if you think it's okay, fine dandy. I don't. Simple as that. Dragon Trade says, maybe Murata does it like that because wants the chapters to come out quicker. I don't know how that would make it quicker. You can only draw so fast. If I draw 20 pages in one day, and then I draw 20, if my average is 20 pages a day, right? Then unless I draw 30 pages a day for 4 days, chapter can't come out any quicker, right? So, and in that case, that would just mean that you'd get a full chapter of let's say the average chapter length was 50 pages. If I went from 20 to 30, that would just mean that you would get a full chapter a little bit quicker. There's no reason to do the 134.33 thing, right? Just don't get it. Let's see. Gone said, or gone, whatever. Just old chapters were combined years ago. Okay, but once again, this is already manga. It's 20 pages of fucking chapter. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know why it needs to be chopped up even more than that, but okay. And new ones aren't, at least by translators, because on official sites they are combined. Well, then how is everybody getting a hold of only a third of the pages? Like, if that's not Murata's fault, fair enough. But why is Murata or anybody releasing high quality scans of a third of a chapter? That's just weird to me. That makes no sense. And why would you translate it if you only had half the like, I don't know. That'd be like getting 2 page. By that logic, when you get Oda should release 4 pages of the next One Piece chapter. Chapter 992, let's get the first 4 pages. And then let's wait 2 weeks and get another 6 pages. And then in another 2.5 weeks, let's get the rest of it. See how stupid that would be? See how stupid that seems? So, or maybe you guys don't think it's stupid. I just do. I just find this really weird. It's a really weird system. So it might not be one of Murata's fault. And if it's not, if they're not doing that intentionally, I apologize to them. But then it's the community's fault. So somebody's to blame for this shit. I don't know who, but somebody. Dragon Trade says, imagine if 4Kids returns and starts dubbing anime again. You know what? You know what would come back, though? You know what would come back? It's time to do. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was, to be Shaman King. Ultimate muscle, hit body slam, the human race. That shit would come back. Sorry for my terrible singing, boys and girls. But that shit, English openings would come back. Not saying that I don't like almost every single Japanese opening, but I goddamn well miss it. We haven't had an English opening since like 2005 or before. And that is tragic. Because that was awesome. I, like, love or hate some of them. Some of them were cringy AF. But I really liked some English openings, guys. You know, I can turn Metabots, Shaman King, Ultimate Muscle, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, you know, Pokemon, Escaflowne. Like, there was a lot of them, you know. So, Goen said, hopefully you won't miss a lot of staff, I assume stuff, because this practice of releasing chapters in parts looks like it's coming back after a few years. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. I'm honestly just here for Garo at this point, because I heard that this was his arc for like 3 years. So I'm just waiting for him to come back, finish off whatever bullshit's going on, and then I'll probably not be reacting to it too much unless my view count is really hurting. To be honest with you guys. Going to a few years of normal releases. Fair enough, fair enough. MC Dude, message retracted, missed content. I'm trying to catch up here, guys. It's really weird how a lot of manga anime make black characters only for them to not actually be black. Like, why even bother making a black character and then have make up reasons why they're not? Yeah, that is really weird. I always hated that. I don't think that's necessary. You know what I also hate? I hate political correctness in that way. Have you guys ever seen a current, like, McDonald's, Burger King, or Geico commercial, you know? Or like, Little Caesars, where it's not like you have to have a Chinese woman, a black dude, a white woman, an Italian. You need to like cover all your bases. You have to have somebody who's definitely of some type of LGBT, like somebody who's clearly not straight. You know, you have to like cover all your bases. The level of political correctness in the media today, and I feel like it's been affecting fiction for a couple of years, and it hasn't like boiled over to that point yet. But I'm worried, and I have a feeling nowadays that that's what's going to happen. Like, you always had like eccentric characters in your main cast, you know? It doesn't matter what manga setting you have. You always had an eccentric main cast. Here's North, West, East, South, totally different personalities, genders, characters, body types, 100%. But I don't like it when it's forced. And when it's forced just to say we represent, I have a problem with that. So yeah, I know what you're talking about, missed content. I really do. And I just want it, like, you know, like if you have a character, keep them, you know, do your work. Like every single person does. I write, and when I write about a city or something, you know what I do? I research the goddamn city. I talk to people who are from the goddamn city. I don't go on a trip and then just not talk to anybody. Every single time I've gone down south, all I do is talk to the wait staff. How's it like living in Dominican? What do you do for fun? How are your weekends? Are you paid well? I ask the inappropriate questions because I'm curious about their actual culture, not the resort culture, and I'm not stupid enough as a white tourist being rich American to go off the resort and get myself shot. I'm not that stupid. So, but I stand there and I want to still learn about the culture, right? In a safe environment. So you go down there, you learn, right? That's what you're supposed to do. So I would hope that people who are creating stories, fiction, movies, all that stuff, do their thing and do their research, right? That's all it takes. It's not hard. My grandmother was born and raised in Africa. So there you go. You know, I know a little bit about that because my grandmother's from there. So, MC Dude said, I think Dragon's Rage meant Murata wants to put out pages more often. When he said Murata wants the chapters to come out quicker, Dragon's Rage said yes. I mean, fair enough, but why would you release half a chapter? That's kind of stupid to me. As I said, my One Piece analogy still stands with that stuff. Okay, you want to release more pages. Great. Don't release 10 out of 35 to the public until you have all 35 done. I don't release half a book, right? I don't write 3 chapters of a 20 chapter book and release 3 chapters and publish it and you can buy it at your local bookstore, right? See, I just don't like that. I mean, I know the internet's different. I know scans are different, but I don't know. I'd be really pissed off with the One Piece community if it happened in One Piece. That's all I'm saying. And One Piece is, to me, up here compared to One Punch Man. So I give it the same standard. That's all I'm saying. MC said, and you keep by checking the website he uploads to. Yeah, I don't do that. Santiago says, it's time to duel. No, wait. It's time to duel. There we go. That was worth the prop. Just saying. That was worth getting out of my chair to do that shit. MC Dude says, sometimes you just look and one of the old chapters has the new date. You can miss that completely if you don't follow updates on whatever community you might follow. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like, I remember when there was that, like, 130, what was it? It was like 117, then it wasn't 117, it was actually 116 because it got combined with 116, and then 117 came out. And like, if you check some of these streams, the chapter number of what I'm reviewing is now technically wrong. But in my mind, how is that wrong? Because at the time, the number was right. Changing the number after the fact is just weird to me. I don't know. Whatever. Purple Tape said, Escaflowne, OP is godlike. Escaflowne. Purple Tape says, top 3 mech series. And it's not 3. Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's Gundam Seed, Escaflowne, and Gundam Seed, I guess, instead of including both seasons, so let's just say Gundam Seed, Destiny. That's probably my favorite mech series. Then you have Escaflowne, and then you probably have, I guess, Gundam Wing. I never saw Iron Blood Orphans, but I heard that was really good. But I don't watch a whole lot of super mech animes either, so all I really know is Gundam and Escaflowne. I might know 1 or 2 others. Custom Robo, the game for the GameCube. Miss Content says, I've taken some media studies courses, including as many demographics as possible, is more of a marketing strategy to get money from as many groups as possible. Exactly. That's what basically, see, what takes me 5 minutes to explain, guys, and you guys still don't get it because I'm rambling. Miss Content comes in here with like 2 sentences and explains exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a marketing strategy. It's 2020 standard, political correctness, let's go. LGBT, Black Lives Matter, cops suck, white supremacy bad, like we didn't already know that. All that kind of political stuff, and everybody throws it into there because of marketing. You market to what is currently happening. How do you think PewDiePie got so popular on YouTube? You think it's because he's the best content creator on YouTube? Really? Literally, I don't subscribe to him because I don't even like his videos. But the dude had the perfect setup. He got it. He lined it up perfectly, the building blocks like Lego, and it all worked because he knew what tags to use, what was in, what wasn't. He followed the trends, and he got it, right? He got lucky in some spots, but really, he just played the game. Belle Delphine did the same thing. It worked. Let's see. Dragon says, I think manga is safe from that woke stuff. That's what I'm saying. For now, though. For now. I'm worried going into the next few years. That's all. Dragon says, careful, Griever. You might get canceled. I already lost 1 channel. Because of Shueisha. What are people going to do? You telling me everyone in this chat right now who's still talking to me, y'all going to unfollow me because I get canceled? Who's going to cancel me? I have 300 subscribers. I assume that means 300 people like my content. If you don't, why are you following me? You know, I never got that whole getting canceled shit. All that means is a bunch of people who don't like your videos are going to badmouth you. But why would that change the opinion of all the subscribers that do already follow you and have already watched your content? I never understood the cancel culture. Makes no sense. But I watch all of Nux Taku's videos on being canceled all the time, so he finds it funny, so well done, fan base. You know, that kind of shit. Alrighty, well, we can get back to the chapter. I hope it's not that long because I literally just spent way too long on that. See, this is why I have to do periodic checks on the chat. I'm caught up in the chat now, but look at how long that took. Because by the time I get through all the chats, if I take more than 30 seconds to respond to one, people have responded to my responses, and it just becomes a thing. So, anyways. Got to make sure to get my money's worth out of these bottles. But haha! Cold one available right away. Alright, so. And just so we're clear, I think it was Gone on the chat. I'm just like having fun with the My Mask. I don't hate or dislike a My Mask. I don't like or love him either. He's kind of neutral for me. I don't hate on him like that. It's just I just point out from a character standpoint, right? I've seen this type of character in manga since I was a kid. It's to nowadays standards, even if he might be three-dimensional, and maybe, as you said, there's probably parts I haven't seen or read right now, and, you know, well, too bad. But from what I've read, from chapter 134 as it was, and now chapter 135, he's still sort of one-dimensional to me because he's kind of tropey right now. Will he develop? I even said that before I even read the comment. He might develop three-dimensionally if I get his backstory. That might make more sense. Sure, fine dandy. I got no problem with that. Because as I said, I don't dislike the character. It was just a comment. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. I just feel like a lot of these characters, like I don't think we have this huge cast. It's the same problem with My Hero Academia. Here's Class 1A, 20 characters. How many actual full out, fleshed out, backstory and all characters are in Class 1A? And don't even get me started that there are characters outside of that. Like, that is so difficult. That's oversaturation. It's very difficult. One Punch Man has the same problem with the S class. There's 20 fucking people in the S class, and there's other characters outside of it that are more important. You can't focus on everyone with only 135 chapters. You don't have the time. You can't just release a light novel and a Wikipedia entry saying, here, before you read the latest chapter, read all this, right? So, I get that. So I'm not criticizing this right yet, because I don't know. I don't know why I'm assuming he's so beautiful, he can't stand ugly, classic, I get it, but that's one-dimensional right now, because that's all I know. Just wanted to clarify in case that wasn't clear. So let's jump over to the next page. We get Child Emperor going up to Sweet Mask. And he says, Mr. Sweet Mask, you don't seem to be in a very good shape. So you can stay in the rear guard and take a break. We'll deal with the fighting, okay? And Child Emperor's kind of banged up. Just trying to be nice. I don't think Child Emperor should have phrased it that way, but okay. So Sweet Mask, once again, face veins. You know, it is October 1st, so I get the horror aesthetic going on here. And now, even this kid's worrying about me? Me? Fucking brat! Are you trying to twist the knife? God damn it, son of a bitch! There's lightning in the background. I don't know why, but I am mad. I am angry. And, oh, is that a Klondike bar? Such. Alright, so he went from ready to literally grab Child Emperor by the head and just start squeezing. Just a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. You know, he was ready to do that, and now he's shaking, hunched over. Such a disgrace. I am the handsomely masked Sweet Mask. I am the last who should ever be so shameful. The humanity. And now he's back to pissed. Okay, he's back to pissed. And he looks evil as fuck. That Phantom of the Opera thing I was going for is right there in that panel. Alright. Ha 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 ha. So, I should stay in the rear guard. A choice I expected from a kid. But that's fine. I'm okay with it. Nice then. I imagine Scaling God heard my conversation too. If this story is leaked to the Hero Association headquarters, the position and reputation I have built in the association as an idol hero would be tarnished. I absolutely have to cover up this disgrace. It shouldn't seem suspicious if everybody gets killed from behind after all the fighting is over. It could be explained as the work of some sneaky monsters. Alright. This is going really fucking dark. Like, I just had to bring myself to a little bit of a Heath Ledger level of dark place to pull that shit off. And that wasn't even very good acting. Yeah, I need a drink. Yeah. Okay, let me get this straight before we move on. And I'll have to check the chat after this. I thought this was going to be a goddamn short chapter. This thing seems to be... got a lot for the... I don't know how many pages. Maybe it's 25 or so. Standard or something like that instead of, 40. But, like... This is fucked up. It shouldn't seem suspicious. So, he's literally... going to pull, like, what's that game everybody's playing now that I don't play because I'm not into, like, the latest trends? Everybody on YouTube's playing it. Among Us? Like Among Us? Yeah, something like that. Where you go around, I watched a couple of videos from Lost Paws doing it, and, like, you go around, people are the imposters, stabby, stab, and you have to, like, vote on it. Like, that game didn't come out in 1999. I was on Newgrounds in 1999 before YouTube, just saying, the game already exists. Anyways, yeah, so he basically is going to sweet mass things. Now, once again, we don't know his full power, I'll give him that, but he thinks he can take out like 5+ S-class heroes from behind. Or he thinks he can take them out all at once. Sneak attack, he can get one. No problem, I can believe that. I don't know who, vote, I don't care. He can probably take out Puri, or how does he plan to get rid of Zombie Man? I have no idea. But, okay, let's say he snaps Shot Emperor's neck and then stabs Puri in the back. Okay, so at most he gets 2, right? Quick, just walking beside them, then all of a sudden he goes, crack, takes the knife out of his pocket, stabs sort of idea, and does it all seamlessly. Fine, dandy. Okay, at most 2 from a sneak attack. What's he going to do about the other 3? Like, does he honestly think he can take on 3 S-Class without making a scene and nobody has any cameras around? Nobody's going to notice the commotion. I mean, I suppose Tornado Terror Twister, whatever she calls herself, is going nuts, or the people call her. Tatsumaki's going nuts up in the air, so maybe, a couple people fighting on the ground, Dragon Ball Z style, ain't going to matter too much. But, still, he's considering this. This dude is evil AF. So I gotta see what the chat's saying about all this, because this be fucked, yo. Let's see. Miss Content says, manga tend to do representation a lot better than most Western comics in Bleach and such. Absolutely. I find that as well. I find Western, more so, not exactly Western fiction, but Western cartoons seem to play on the stereotypes a little heavy. Though there are, of course, the Outbreak ones and stuff, but definitely the stereotypes are there in a lot of like Western cartoons geared towards young kids and preteens and that kind of shit. A lot of stereotypes there. And not very good representation. Dragon's Rage says, don't worry, Griever, I hate cancel culture too. Yeah, I mean, we all do, I think. Miss Content says, or at least when they try, the stuff like Dark Shine is still kind of cringe. Yeah, like, the Dark Shine thing, not only is now, he went from being like a cool character to a bitch. Like, forget the black thing. Just cool character, bitch. That's worse. Like, that's terrible. But now, he's a dead bitchy ass horse. Now I took a beer bottle and just fucking smack because of the whole black thing. Like, it's just weird, right? Like, why couldn't he, why do that? Why not just have him be black? Right? The blow would have been less, but not only did we get revealed that he's not actually black, in that same chapter, he also becomes a bitch. You know? Like, God damn it. Why? Why? I hated that. I really did. Hate Humanity said, damn it, YouTube did not give me a notification even though I have the bell on and all. Hate Humanity, don't you worry about Solar Warrior, by the way. Hate Humanity is Solar Warrior. Okay, hey, man. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. It happens, you know. I don't get notified of everything. Apparently, I wasn't notified about chapter 134.33 and chapter 134.66. So, I'm very behind here. I'm reading ahead of the game, apparently. So, that's what I've learned on this stream. MC Dude says, I told you he was deluded. Yeah, a little bit. No, a lot. And I feel like I'm being very generous saying that he could maybe take out 2 before the other 3 would counter. Maybe at most catch them off guard enough to take out 2. Hate Humanity said, damn it, behind a chapter and can't find it in English. Just found it. Okay, good. Dragon's Rage says, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of side characters in a story as long as the author accepts, I think he meant accepts that he can't focus on all of them. Right. Also, I am waiting for the Almighty King to make his return to this arc. Yes. The Garo Show will return. Oh, you meant King. Sorry about that, Dragon's Rage. Dragon's Rage also said, also to be fair to Darshan, he was fighting Garo and didn't give. But he did give in the end. I mean, and he was fighting Garo, though, to be fair. So, I mean, like, it's not like he's the worst character, but he really dropped. Like, I was getting like boom, boom, boom to his character, and it just all went sort of like a Jenga, right? Like it was building the tower up, and then the whole thing came crashing. So it was more like it was a heavier blow than it should have been when all that shit went down. But yeah, anyways, all right, so we're caught up with the chat. Let's continue. So Sweet Mask is about to apparently try to annihilate 5 S-Class heroes. Let's see how that goes. Yan. Hey, you really don't look good. Are you fine? I'm assuming that should be, are you okay? Nobody asked, are you fine? You know, that's weird. Veb, you did a doo-doo. Are you fine? Nobody says, are you fine? Not even in polite way. You'd be like, are you all right, young man? Are you okay, my lady? Have you hurt yourself, your grace? Nobody says, are you fine? Even in posh language. Shakespearean, Victorian even. Napoleon. So, Yan has shown up while Sweet Mask is on the ground, crouching, vein covered, completely, like, thinking up ways to kill 5 S-Class heroes. And then we jump over. Okay, his veins have gone down his face. He's shocked. We see a cape. See a cape. Is it Saitama? See a cape. Alright. And next page. Is this shit real? Don't tell me. Don't pull some homeless emperor saw God bullshit on me, please. Please. Don't pull some he saw Super Smash Bros. Melee polygons bullshit God thing. Please tell me this is real. Please tell me this is real. Fucking blast. It even says it right there on the chest. I knew it before I even read that shit. I knew it before I read that shit. Nobody but the best hero would have hair like... Look at this, man. Look at those eyebrows. Renji from Bleach called, man. He wants his eyebrows back, but nobody cares. Some monster arm laying in the background. Who gives a fuck? It's fine now, he says, kneeling down to Sweet Mask, who's just shocked, looking up at the true. Now that's Polygon from Super Smash Bros. Melee. Homeless Emperor was a cool character. Now he's a piece of shit who couldn't even follow God's own rule. You know, God told me to kill everybody. I haven't killed anybody yet. But God told me to do it. That's how I got superpowers, but I haven't done anything yet about it. That bullshit, forget that. Now we have a real version. Now, Sweet Mask is the good version of this story. It's the good version of that backstory. Sweet Mask is on the ground, and he looks up, and he sees, ladies and gentlemen, he sees the face of God, and that God's name is Blast. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. This is a beautiful fucking panel. Is that where the chapter ends? Please, for the love of God. That's probably why it's so short. It's like, let's just end it right there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, no, there's more, so I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to go to the chat first. All right. Why did I have to go through like 3 shitty chapters for that? Like 10 out of 11, 12, 13 out of 10 artwork chapters. But like that one panel beats the last 3 chapters. No problem. It's just, that was mint. God damn it. All right. Let's see. Hate Humanity says, okay, came back, just went to read it really quick. All right. MC Dude says, so this is why I was given some mixed signals on the chapter. You guys, you fucking guys. You know what? I appreciate that. Because I wasn't hyped. I just figured, okay, One Punch Man stands to like this chapter, just like they like every fucking chapter, even if it's alright. I mean, good, great artwork. You know, Murata drew a really cool scene, which he always does because he's awesome. But that's kind of it, you know. Like they fight, right? I didn't expect something like this. Holy shit! So good on you, MC Dude. Good on you for being such a fucking good white liar. Love it. Miss Cousin, that's the reaction I expected. Damn, I mean, what did you guys expect? Like, even I'm hyped about this. I don't stand this series, and I'm like, I know, I've read this series, I watched the season 1 anime, I know enough to know that this is a big fucking deal. You know? Like, I've been waiting for this dude to show up. Slap Saitama, like, Saitama goes one punch, and he's like, sort of like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and Viv will hate this because I keep referencing Dragon Ball Z, but like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan when he first went Super Saiyan 2 and just in all the air. Or like Ichigo Aizen, all the air. Like, I blocked your sword. What are you so surprised at? You know, I've been waiting for that, and I'm hoping for that moment, so this dude showing up, oh my god. I'm assuming he's remembering this, like Blast didn't just randomly show up or something, but, you know, by the looks of, like, the next panel. But still, yeah. So, MC said, it's a SM chapter, so I didn't think you'd like it. An SM chapter? What do you mean? You like BDSM thing? bondage, masochist. I never knew what that shit meant. All I knew is BDSM means tie people up in ropes and pour candle wax on them. It's kind of weird. MC2 says, but also that reveal though. Yeah, that reveal was sick. That was the right way to do it. That was the right fucking way to do it. We got a full character design. We saw this dude. He looks like a badass. It's fantastic. Miss Content says, pretty sure this is the first time he's been shown ever. Not even revealed in the webcomic yet. Well, there you fucking go. The dude looks like a fucking baller. Vib said, did I join right at the blast reveal? I think you did. I hope you didn't miss it, man. I was freaking out. Like, I didn't believe it at first. And I was just like, no. I thought it was the end of the chapter. MC Dude said, yes. Got a proper Pog Champ expression from Griever. I don't know what Pog Champ expression means, but fine, dandy. MC Dude said, guess it was worth it. I hope you guys were entertained, you know? Like, and I'm telling you right now, I was not playing that up. I was not. I'm just, like, people watching later might say shit like that. Like, I actually got a few comments about that on my live streams. And you guys know, I'm extremely monotone. I'm like, and on the 4th day, and on the 5th page, and on this. You know, I'm not exactly the most hype, sort of reactor. You guys know that. I've explained that so many times. So when I react to something, I'm being honest with you. So that was an honest, like, are you fucking serious? To be fair, it probably came because I was just rewatching a bunch of, like, in the background while I was cooking supper, I had a bunch of Toriko live reactions from King of Lightning, and that dude brings the hype. I know some people don't like Cole, but that dude brings the fucking hype. All right, and I love Toriko. He loved Toriko, so it was amazing. So I was probably like just pumped up anyway from seeing that shit. So maybe it was a little over the top, based on that, but it's still legitimate, guys. Like, goddamn, I'm still like, what else? Are we gonna see anything else? Like, I don't, I'm not gonna expect anything because I don't want to be disappointed. Because that was enough. That was enough to make this chapter. That was enough. To make this fucking chapter. So good. I've never seen an actual Blast design, so I think I agree with Miss Content. This is probably the first time we've actually seen Blast. He looks like Android 16 with a goddamn cape. He's got Android 16 thing going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it was black on green and fucking, like, just post a red ribbon army thing on his chest. Like, Jesus Christ, it looks like Android 16's armor. And I'm not complaining. That dude was a badass. This dude's a badass. I'm good with it. Hate Humanity says, calling who you're running away from inferior. Calling who you're running away from. Did I say something that I'm missing my own reference? Who are you running away from? Inferior. I mean, Hate Humanity explained. Sorry, man. I'm missing it. I'm brains fried. Vib says, Zoe picked the best chapter to start face reactions. I mean, sure. Dranger said, also, Blast versus King. I can't tell who's stronger, but I give the edge to King. Sorry, man. I love my King, but I think that Blast was the one who taught him the King engine. Just saying. MC Dude said, oh, please. King wins easily as always. MC Dude said, SM Sweet Mask. Oh, okay. My mind went gutter. Yours was more on point. All right. Gotcha. Fib says, you mean HMSM. Yeah, you're right, MC. So Dragon Trace or IKAM. Yeah. All right. Vib says, I joined and you started screaming. Oh, well, you better rewind that shit, man. I felt like that's probably the most hype. That is maybe not the most hype I've been in a live stream, period. Definitely for a One Punch Man chapter. Maybe one of the Gara ones was just as good. But I think I got pretty hyped. Because the Gara ones are longer. Because every page of that Gara Darkshine fight was like another, like, jump out of your chair shit, right? I remember doing a dance number for a Garo fight. So yeah, okay, but still, I feel like this is rewind worthy, right? So, Hate Humanity says King's luck power is probably probability, where like if anything that has a chance, even if 1 in a billion, to positively affect him in whatever situation he is will happen. I like to think of it more. You know, I would like King's power to stay ambiguous. I mean, like a lot of people have made that like explanation, like his power is luck, his power is good fortune, it's probability, it's God-given, something like. Either way, I prefer it to stay ambiguous. Not every answer needs... Lord of the Rings is the best story of all time. You know how many questions are left unanswered at the end of that fucking story? And the author's dead. Guess what? We're never getting an answer. You can create your own. Video games might try to explain shit away. No, doesn't count. The author's dead. Tolkien's dead. We'll never get an answer. And he actually wrote letters on not answering everything. There needs to be mystery in your story. You're not going to have a Wikipedia explanation on everything. You're going to have to accept that you might not know where somebody came from. Right? You know, those details. And I know I've been hypocritical about that in the past for certain things. But that's because when you establish something, I feel like you should follow it. But that's usually the way it is, right? So I would prefer the King's power just... They never really explain it. And I'd be fine with that. That is good ambiguous. Because we know what it can do. We know what he does. And, you know, almost everything's in the realm of possibility with that because it's King, right? It's Saitama. We know what he can do, right? Same idea. So, yeah. Dragonator says, Blast and Garo are going to be the best characters in One Punch Man. Absolutely. Hate Humanity says, in my opinion, King's power... To me? Yeah, I mean, it's a fair assessment and it's rather accurate, but I just want it to stay a mystery. Dragonator says, King's power is beyond our mortal understanding. Exactly. All right, let's jump back to the rest of the chapter. So, Sweet Mask is now clutching his head and he slams it into the ground. And Yana says, hey, snap out of it. Were you injured somewhere? And then we have Sweet Mask bleeding after he smashed his head on the ground, huffing and puffing, saying, don't worry. It's an issue of mine. Today my outfit is not matching that well. Is that why you look like you're in pain? I was about to forget the fundamentals of fashion, that is. He's not talking about fashion. This dude is bipolar. This dude has an identity crisis. And clearly, something in the past triggered Blast to help him. He became a hero as a result. And sometimes, that demon in him creeps up. The bipolarness creeps up. And then, something like the memory of Blast reminds him to get his head back in the game. He smashed his head, said it's an issue of mine, and he's talking about fashion and outfits, but what he's saying is, today, I'm not myself. I'm not matching me and my personality that well. I was about to forget the fundamentals of being a hero. He says fashion, but of being a hero. That's what I'm taking away from this. This is pretty deep. I'm reading a lot into this, guys. So I could be fucking wrong as hell. But that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing. Clearly, Blast must have saved him, helped him, done something for him, and now he's got this, twitch, this, bipolar or the split personality thing where the trigger is remembering Blast and him being a hero and trying to be better than who he was, being this insane, murderous person and being the lovable hero. Maybe it's not such a good thing. It fractured his mind. Maybe that's how it started. Maybe that's how his mind got fractured. Who knows? But that's what I'm taking away from it. All right, I missed something here. I was about to forget the fundamentals of fashion, that is, and that would be self-control. Okay, so that matches up with exactly what I'm saying. All right. Yan Yan looks on as Sweet Mask keeps walking forward, looking a little demonic, but seems to be back to his more or less old self. And that's the end. All right, so that's the end. All right, so I don't know how many pages that was, guys. I have no idea, but it was relatively short, but well worth the stream. Well worth a goddamn stream. That was awesome. That was hype. So yeah, Dragon's Rage says Sweet Mask character just got a whole lot more interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And MC Dude says, so I'm guessing he has a memory of Blast that he uses as a coping mechanism. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. So he clearly, something happened in the past. I'm going to assume, this is just basic psychology shit, guys, and I'm sure they could go deeper with it. But let's say he was this crazy he had crazy murderous intent, right? Like he grew up in the slums or something and to murder to survive or whatever, and he was just used to take, murder, rape. Not saying the rape shit happened, but you never know with this dude. I mean, he's kind of, yeah. I can see him going that far. So then one day he gets in over his head or something, and Blast saves him. And it just changes his outlook, and something Blast did. Blast might not have mentored him. Maybe he only said those few words and fucked off. Who knows? But it ended up like twisting him all up. Who he was, who he is, and then something got changed, something got added, sort of like adding that drop of oil to a full vat of water. No matter what you do, no matter how much you scoop up, no matter how much water is in that pail, every single time you scoop some up, there's just always going to be a little bit of oil in that goddamn pail of water now, right? Even if you only add, if you dropped, you add a spoonful of oil to a whole vat of water, you've contaminated all the water, even though there's so much more water than oil, right? But it seeps in, every single spoonful. You can't really get rid of it. So something like that, almost like a reverse poison. Like it poisoned a bad child well, but it didn't erase it. It didn't erase it. And so he's using it, as MC Dude pointed out, as like a coping mechanism. He remembers Blast and he remembers struggle, so he doesn't go back to being a nutso, like me, right? He's still got that me personality, that narcissism, but it's constructive. When it goes a little too far, when he's in over his head, it becomes he reverts, right? So, Hate Humanity says, Sweet Mask to me is Gilgamesh, but if he could not back up his arrogance, yeah, Gilgamesh is pretty, yeah. Are you talking like the actual Gilgamesh or from Fate's Stay Night? Because either or, but yeah. He is strong, but not as strong as he thinks he is. Yeah, exactly. The fact that he thought he could take out 5 S-class heroes to save his reputation is just ludicrous. That's insane. Absolutely nutty. So, all right, boys and girls. Well, I mean, this was a fun stream. It was an interesting stream. It went a little longer than, I don't really know how long I expected it, but it went over an hour. So that's pretty good. I didn't really expect to have to do a stream today, so I do have to get back to what I was doing. But any more questions? Leave the chat open here for a couple minutes. Any other questions, comments, etc.? I'll leave it open. We'll see if anybody's got anything else to say, and then we'll call it a stream. We got Dragon's Rage here saying, think Tots and Sweet Mask respects King because he reminds them of Blast. I mean, I suppose since they don't know the real King, yeah, I could see that. Hate Humanity said Fate. Alright, so from the Fate series, gotcha. And so you said good chapter, or should I say half chapter? Yeah, I'm going to assume that this is going to be another one of those. There's going to be a 135.4.5, right? Why do you have to remind me, MC dude? I was on a high. I was happy. I totally forgot about that bullshit. And once again, that, by the sounds of it, that's not actually Murata's fault. That is the community's fault. Or whoever the hell posts like 10 pages of a chapter in high def. It's their fault. Whoever gives the okay, the green light to do that, is at fault, in my opinion. You guys don't need to agree with it, but I just know the same thing happened to any of my favorite series. Past or present or future, I would hate it. I'd be pissed. That's just my personal preference. Who knows? I could be full of shit. I could be wrong. It's just the way I like to read. When I know there are 300 chapters of Toriko, I know there are 300 chapters. Not 354 chapters split up into fucking 300 chapters. There's 300, right? So, that's the way I like it. Dragon says, great chapter, but don't forget to the other parts, Griever. MC says, oh Lord, you should see how some fans hound Murata for updates. So Dragon says, are you talking about those parts of 134 or whatever that I didn't read? Because they're not posted in my Discord, guys. How am I supposed to know? I don't follow One Punch Man Reddit or Discord, so I mean, I got notifications of Grim Reaper's Discord, and I didn't get anything in the Cook section for a 134.2 or 3 or 5 or 28. So, how am I supposed to know? If Viv doesn't tell me, I don't know about it. So, yeah. I mean, I might read them. I won't react to them now, but I might read them just to see what happened, but MC Dude says you should see how some fans found Murata for updates. It's like, yeah, but no offense. Like, but that pales in comparison to Oda and Akira Toriyama, I'm sure. And I don't see them doing it. So, I mean, not saying that everybody's different, and I get it, but hounding fans, we got 40 years of Dragon Ball and over 20 years of One Piece. One Punch Man barely has a decade, guys. Come on. Like, if he's like, you don't see how he goes on Twitter, and then stay the fuck off Twitter. The President of the United States should be doing that for the last 4 years. So, I mean, you know, like, put it to you this way. When I got hounded too much on Discord, on a Discord server, you know what I did? I left. I turned off notifications, and I left the server. Guess what? My problem was pretty easily solved by doing that. You know what happened when I didn't like getting certain Facebook notifications? Unfollowed the page. Or I deleted the Facebook app. Or I turned off notifications. You know how great that is? If I get a call from Congo tomorrow trying to sell me insurance, you know what I do? I hit decline. And then I hit block number. How many more of these do I need to go through, guys, to say that that's no fucking excuse? Sorry. Not trying to hate on Murata, but sorry, that's not an excuse. Oh, well, my this, that, and the other hated me. You know why? Because, like, put it to you this way. When I stopped releasing content every single day, I lost like 8 subscribers in the last month. This month was terrible. September was awful for me. August wasn't that great because I was really busy and I didn't upload a lot. And you know what happened with that was, in the end of the day, was the ones who wanted to be here stuck around. But the people that were just here for the hype and the constant content over and over and over, so I lost a few people. Whatever. Don't care. Like, because they weren't really here for me. They weren't here for my opinions. They weren't here for me. And I even told you guys on my Discord, I always say, join the Discord for updates. Because I even said, guys, I'm really busy working on the basement. Like, earlier this year in April, my uncle died. So April was a bad month, right? And then I said, you know, over the summer, like, the virus thing happened. That was a bit of a deal. And then, of course, back to work, but not really back to work. Like, there's a lot of things in 2020 for everybody. But most people, like, I didn't drop below 300 again, but I lost, probably, I don't know, a few dozen subscribers over it because YouTube wasn't really a priority, right? I don't make money off of this, so I just do it for fun and for a passion, right? I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy reacting. I enjoy doing this stuff. I like anime, manga, video games, So it was a whole thing, right? So, but when it became overwhelming, I just don't go on the computer. Simple as that. And if I owed you guys something, like that's the thing. I never promise you guys anything. When I do, like I said, the Valkyrie review will be out tomorrow. You know how I knew it would be? So I had already had it recorded. At the worst, I would have to spend an hour the next day making sure it was edited and rendered. That's all I have to do. But it was already recorded, already read, recorded, made sure that I didn't stumble over my words 18 times in a recording, which is the hardest part. That part was done. So that's how I could promise that. But I've never told you guys, don't worry, I will never miss, there will never be more than 2 days of no uploads all of 2020. I never promised that. I would never promise that, right? So, it's just one of those things where it's just kind of like, if it became too much, you guys are great. It's like Nuxtaku's fan base. It's like Tekking's fan base. It's like my fan base. You guys are all fantastic. So I know that you guys don't feel entitled. Like, you didn't get the One Piece chapter review out. You suck. You didn't do a Valkyrie reaction. You suck. Right? I don't get that shit from you guys. So I know that it's fine. So if Murata is being hounded by those type of people, then he should just ignore them. Sure, a lot of manga get a lot of... You imagine the fairy tale hate. Okay? Or the Hunter x Hunter hiatus hate. Or Berserk. Right? It's crazy. So I just don't see the reasoning there. Hate Humanity says, then after click 134.3. I guess it doesn't show if you give a link, okay? Alright, fair enough. MC2 says, by the way, go back to the page and you'll see that Blast is actually huge. He's a good bit taller than Sweetmaster. I already noticed that. Yeah, I really did. MC2 says, another A16 similarity. Android 16 similarity. That's cool. Yeah, absolutely. He looks like Android 16, just saying. Dragon's Rage says, also off topic, favorite One Piece character. Also, I have no problem waiting for content. Yeah, none of you guys do. I don't think I've had a single person ever in my live stream, in my chat, in my Discord that has ever had a problem waiting for my content. Nobody hounds me for content. Not that I'm popular, but even if I was, people that would hound me for content, it'd be like, But then again, I would be more motivated if this was a paying job. Remember, this is only a passion side project. I have things I have to do to get paid. So, pretty hard to make YouTube content if I can't pay my internet bill, right? So there are priorities outside of YouTube, and YouTube doesn't give me money. So simple as that, right? And it's not that I don't want to make money off YouTube, guys, just in case you're curious, but I figured I'd wait until at least, I don't even know if I can, but I was going to wait until I got 10,000 subscribers, so that even if I get hit by the tax man, it'd still be worth it to make money off of YouTube, that kind of deal, Because if you have two jobs, I don't know about America, but in Canada, if you have two incomes, the tax man comes down on you 3 times as hard. I don't know why, but yeah. So favorite One Piece character. Rayleigh. Sure. Today it'll be Rayleigh. Tomorrow it'll be Mihawk. Next day it'll be Shanks. Yeah. I'm confident in those names. Oh, Garp. Forgot Garp. Yeah. So let's just do top 5 characters. We got Mihawk, we got Shanks, we got Rayleigh, we got Garp. Let's just throw in Zoro, maybe Roger. Roger was pretty cool. Whitebeard was pretty cool. Trying to think, there's so many characters. I'm probably missing someone that I'm just like, oh, he's my favorite character, but I can't even remember right now. Let's throw in Jinbei, actually. Yeah, let's put in Jinbei. Jinbei equals Zoro. There we go. So Jinbei, Zoro for 5th place, and the other 4. There we go. So you can interchange those however you want. Definitely Garp. I could throw Mihawk out if I had to. I just really like Mihawk. Favorite villain is Crocodile. I know that. Favorite villain in the whole story has been Crocodile thus far. Most hated One Piece character. Either most hated. I mean, the Celestial Dragons, really, at the end of the day. Pick one, right? Most hated. Easy, right? The way they treat people. I mean, they don't even view them as people. Like, I mean, I'm a white dude, so I don't know how many people of other ethnicities and genders and whatever are in my chat right now, but I know this is only coming from a, first world white guy, but I'm not a guy from 200 years ago. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a Nazi. I have no tolerance for that. I never have. I think anybody who flies a Nazi flag should be arrested. Simple as that. Freedom of speech, go fuck yourself. There's freedom of speech, and then there's hate. Simple. So, yeah, Celestial Dragons, to me, they drive a nerve. And by the sounds of it, the Boa sisters were raped. Let's just be honest. It was child rape. And I don't know if I can say it on this stream. But I said it, so it'll be demonetized. Oh, wait, I don't monetize. Yeah, Oda couldn't say it explicitly or show it, but we know what happened. So, yeah, definitely right there. Celestial Dragons. If we have to go outside of the Celestial Dragons, I'd say either Doflamingo or Akainu. Dragon just says, also remember Akainu did nothing wrong. He was only doing his job. So was Garp. For anybody who thinks like, oh, Garp, Don was right and stuff, is like, technically Garp was only doing his job. Akainu did nothing wrong. Actually, you know how I can defute that? Because I think I can. He walked up to a pirate and didn't arrest him. I mean, I'm not saying, like, he played the game and stuff, but he went up to Squardo, and instead of his absolute justice dictates that he should have arrested him right then and there. Fuck back alley deals, fuck blackmail, fuck trickery. His absolute justice would have stated, he's a bad guy, he's a pirate, you arrest him and hang him from the gallows. So Akainu did do something wrong. The whole thing with that Marineford thing, the whole reason Whitebeard was injured, is all at Akainu's feet, and it goes against his absolute justice, in my opinion. So there you go. He did do something wrong. He didn't do his job. If he had done his job, Squardo wouldn't have been at Marineford because he would have been executed. There's one way to look at it. I'm just saying. I'm just super saying. Huh? Imagine all this ponytail and all, or this whatever I do back here. all this shit going up in his full hair. I really would look like a Super Saiyan hair up to fucking next Tuesday. And you'd see all like the bald spots through my hair because I have really thin hair. I get my mother's hair. My dad has the most beautiful, it's like my color hair, and like you see how it's nice and thick here in the front. His is way thicker and way more nice and shit. I'm envious of my dad's hair, man. My dad's 60 next year and he's still fucking got better hair than me. But yeah, so Akainu and Dofi if we're not counting Celestial Dragons. And Dofi is one of those weird ones. It's not that I really hate Dofi as a character, because I do, like all the shit he pulled, right? But Crocodile did a bunch of shit like that. Why do I hate him, right? It was basically Alabasta Dressrosa, 2.0, right? The reason is the community. It's one of those things. It's just like Black Sperm. It's just like Tatsumaki and stuff with the One Punch Man community. It's the exact same thing. Dofi is way too overhyped. It's like NL. NL or Eneru, also hate that guy. Everybody has been putting him on a totem pole since Skypiea. Stop it. I haven't seen the dude since. If he comes back, great. If he doesn't, nobody gives a shit. Like Luffy now is literally resilient as hell to this dude and managed to beat him in 3-time skip because of his resilience. Now he has 3 forms of hockey and multiple gears. He'll awaken before Eneru shows up, and if that happens, he's going to kick the living shit out of him. I don't care. Eneru's another one. The community made me dislike Eneru more than I already did, and same with Dofi. Because everyone hypes Dofi up like he's the greatest thing because he made the birdcage. Big fucking deal. I didn't see Zoro also go Azura form to try to stop it either, right? Like everyone's like, oh, nobody can stop it. And it's like, well, like Dofi got defeated. Law and Luffy did it. Like everybody hypes that dude up way too much. Same with Hawkins. Hate Hawkins. Hate Humanity said, what is the coolest Devil Fruit power? Not most powerful, but look and power wise. What is the coolest in your opinion? The coolest Devil Fruit power. The coolest one. Actually, I just bitched out Eneru, but I always had a thing for lightning. I mean, go figure, I'm an electrician. So, for me, the coolest thing to do would be able to transform into lightning and shoot bolts down and be basically Zeus. That'd be really cool. Same with Fire Fist Ace. I'm basic like that. I'm a basic bitch like that. So yeah, for me, those would probably be my type of fruits. Basic Logias, smoke fruit. The Mara no Mi, that kind of shit. I'm basic when it comes to that. As far as it being the coolest, I mean, kind of can transform into a dragon. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool. But I think turning into fire is pretty cool too. So, Whitebeard controlling gravity is really cool. Like, it's hard to decide the coolest, but I'm basic. It would probably be a Logia, in all honesty. Not the most powerful. Once again, yeah, like, I would prefer the Mara over the Magma fruit. But look-wise, yeah, like the Mara no Mi is probably my favorite design. I like it. And power-wise, but look-wise and power-wise, what is the coolest? Power-wise, it's clearly the gravity fruit. Or the earthquake fruit. Whitebeard's fruit. Whitebeard's fruit is probably the strongest. Because he could destroy the whole world in his prime. Just chose not to. Dragon's Rage says, Doflamingo has a lot of character depth, so he's not really a bad character. No. He's not a bad character. I just don't like him that much. Because the community hypes him up way too much. Like, Crocodile is a cooler character to me. got the hook. He's got the badass scar. He's got the coat. He's a fucking Bond villain. Doflamingo is a goddamn flamingo with sunglasses, who's an entitled little brat who's just happens to be powerful. He's an entitled little shitbag at the end of the day. Not saying he doesn't have depth, and he's great character arc, don't get me wrong. Character-wise, fantastic. And I know, but that's, once again, because he's a good character, but Oda wrote him to not like him. And I don't like him. Oda did a good job. I don't like him. But the community made me dislike him more, not as a character, just as a, well, as a character, because, not because of his backstory or anything like that, just because they hype him up. I gotta, really, that's why I was starting to get away from, like, power scaling and all that shit, because you know what? All that does is make me really, really hate when everybody hypes up a character that I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, he's strong, but I don't think he's, you know, like, everybody hyping Kaido up to be the Grandos, and I'm like, no. Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Garp, Shanks, all stronger than Kaido. Always believed it, still haven't been proven otherwise. Why, like, everyone hyping up Kaido like he's the goddamn, and then when Kaido actually gets injured, everyone's like, oh my god. So the same people that power scale Kaido as being like a whole another tier in a different manga from everybody else in One Piece, and then they get all butthurt, and then they go off on him, and it's just like, Kaido's as strong as he's always been, guys. He's never shown us to be weaker or stronger than we've currently seen. You guys assumed a bunch of shit, and now you're pissed off that he's not living up to what you overhyped him to be. You know? Same with Big Mom. People did the same thing when Whole Cake Island came around. It's just stupid. Hate power scaling now. Dragon's Rage also said that I would take Kaido's Devil Fruit. Yeah, turning into Shenron would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. That'd be pretty cool. Turn into a dragon, fly around, hyper beam shit. One big Gyarados. All you need is the Dragon Balls flying around you. You'd be good. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for now. We're under 2 hours, which is good. I think that's enough for a live stream. And we finished the chapter like half an hour ago. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Griever. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed. There was no bitching out about One Punch Man, other than the whole 0.5, 0.33, point this, part 56, whatever, crap with the chapter numbers. Other than that, this was actually a really good, positive One Punch Man stream. There was nothing to bitch about, and everything to be excited about. Goddamn blast, ladies and gentlemen, blast. He was here. Android 16 with better hair. Gohan's hair with a cape. Android 16 looks awesome. I'm doing this on purpose if Vib is still watching, just to piss him off with all the Dragon Ball Z references. Either way, alright, so I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in and stuff. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Haven't done a stream in a while. But I hope to do a stream hopefully by December for the Valkyrie chapter. I'm hoping that we get a couple more before the end of the year, and I'll probably end off the last one of the year with a stream just for fun. Or if it comes out early January or whatever, that's when I'll do it. So, hope you guys look forward to that. As I said, subscribe, comment, like, I covered all that shit. Alright, see you next time, guys. Drink responsibly as always. Blah, blah, blah. All my usual shit. See ya.